working. One sort of working. All right, I think we are streaming here. Let me turn up my microphone just slightly. Should be working pretty good, I hope. So I'm just here. Actually, we're not yet, are we? I had the same problem yesterday. We're here in Blender, and we're going to prepare our UVs for this character. He's a lot more high res than this. This is the base mesh, and I can just show you that real quick by going on to our wireframe mode. This is how low res he is going to be, but he'll look much, much better than this, of course, as soon as we get his textures and everything going. And to do that, I'm going to need to create some UVs for him really quickly. So I'm just going to jump over to my UV tab, and here inside of edit mode now, we're going to go ahead and turn on our X-ray, or at least the wireframe not on, but the X-ray on for this, I think works. And then I'm going to grab face mode here, and we're just going to kind of take a look at what this looks like over here. If we were to do, let's just say some try the here we go, where are we at? Smart UV project. It's going to be really messy and lots of patchy stuff. This can work, however, you will wind up possibly getting a messy looking UV with seams and stuff. We don't want that. So what I'm going to do is come over and do these more custom, hopefully. So we're going to go into edge mode here, and I'm just going to select an edge with Alt, and that's going to give me an edge. I need to kind of pick where I really want that split to be. Now, this isn't going to be 100% ideal. I'm trying to hide this in a place that makes more sense. If it's on an edge like that, you know, that's right across the face, so probably, and I say face, he doesn't have one. This is okay probably because it's going to be a little more hidden in some of the wrinklage, which is a word. And now we're just going to right click. We're going to say make seam, mark seam. And that'll create a seam that will split this from that. So I'm going to do the same thing with my legs here. Just get these. We need to make sure it's just going to go around the leg. This may work here, does it? It looks like so. And I'm going to try and get the same thing on all our legs. Yeah, that was working. So I'm just going down one kind of below that one with the peak on it. Right here. Okay, and these will unwrap like, these will cut off like, you know, socks basically. But they will not unwrap properly because they are just a weird sock shaped thing right now, and I need to make these unwrap like kind of like a cylinder would unwrap. This I don't really want to do, I don't think, because that's going to give me seams right up here. But maybe I do. I don't really want the seam in this portion though. So let me do these across the same on each one real quick. And then I will erase the front, probably the front seam of that. I say erase, I mean just like unselect it. I don't really care for where that's hitting under here either. So we're just going to drag and make sure I didn't do something I don't want to do. There we go. I'm just going to drag and deselect anything we don't want, like so, and do the same on this side. And now we can make the the back half one's different. I'm going to leave this cut here though, because that's going to kind of separate that piece out, which I think is going to work fine. I also don't think I want these going through the bottom of the feet like this. So what I'm going to do is make a seam that runs all the way around the foot on both of these. So something like this and this. We're going to go ahead, see if I can get away with doing the same thing here. I'm going to have to make that one a little bit higher up, I think. Maybe not that one. Let's go here. Not there. Here. See if that works, which it also is having an issue with. That's just because those are kind of wonky the way they are laid out. Let's try if there's any other. I don't think that is going to work. We'll have to do that one manually. Just wait. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the ones inside of here though, because I don't want that. Probably should have made this non-X-ray. But there we go. Perfect. So we'll just leave that foot with a single line at the bottom. Almost got those other ones by mistake. And we'll just kind of do it this way. Just get the ones we want to get rid of without getting rid of the ones we don't. Let me make sure I didn't accidentally get rid of those. And that looks good there. Okay, so we'll start with this. I'm going to go ahead and mark those. Mark seam. So now we have a split that lets us split, well, the front and backs of those. I really kind of didn't want to put a seam in the front. So let's unmark that now again. And I'm going to go ahead and unmark these others. And before I do that, I'm going to make sure we are... I wonder why it's picking a kind of a see-through mode for that. I don't really want that. See, when I select, I just really want to be able to do these from the front like I'm doing. Okay, so we'll just be careful, I guess. Like that. That way it only unwraps from the back now. And the belly will also have that side split on it, which we do want. So I'll just get rid of this guy. And then these. And there we go. My very vocal cat's going to start her singing to let me know I'm not allowed to do a live stream. Let's just go ahead and split, mark seam right here. So now we have the seams in the appropriate places. If I have one that I don't want, we just kind of can highlight it and erase that or undo it. Okay, so now the back legs, these are going to have to be on the inside as well. And it's looking like maybe from here. I have to do these kind of manually. And cat's letting me know I'm not allowed to do this. Okay, and so there, we're going to go clip that, see what happens. Looks a little too high. So let's go ahead and add these right through here where I will want them. This is going to have to be all manual, it looks like. So I'm just going to pull this around like this, totally fine as long as there's a point where this can cut off and separate. Is the whole point of it. Looks okay there. And I'm just going to come in, maybe here to hide the seam. And we're going to get this a little higher up. So I'm just going to pull all this way. And I'm going to add these and get rid of everything else here. Okay, Gina, can you find out what's going on with her? Okay. I didn't ask where she was. What?
Losing the litter trace, probably having a big...
Okay, I'll just quit this, I guess. What? Okay, and then I'll mark the seam here. Got 3 viewers. How you guys doing? I don't know who is watching, but I'm going to just kind of check and see if we've got an actual chat working. Mute. Okay, so the chat is up if you guys want to use it, obviously. Now I'm just going to try and do the same thing here. Figure out exactly, let's see if this will, yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm just going to go through manually, grab these dudes. How far are we going? About 2 out like this. I'm going to go ahead and pop that one in there because I know we'll be using at least that. This one's going to, just going to try and, you know, mirror what I've done here. Obviously, I think not this one, but these for sure. 1, 2, 3. We can come over here and then complete this thing. The only thing is, you know, the manual sucks, man. Doing this manually, it really does, but depending upon how the topology is laid out, and we did use kind of the automatic topology from ZBrush, so you know, it's kind of understandable. Go ahead and I'm going to mark that, and then we're going to make one that comes up from here. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. And once we get that, we can cut that seam as well, or mark it anyway. So now we have the bottoms of our feet. We have the legs that can unwrap all around. We have the belly. We have the top piece, which we'll work with later. And I think we need, of course, 2 more belly slices here. So I think what I will do is come from here. And I was going to go all the way down to the front. We don't need that, obviously. So this will have to be manual. Not a biggie. In fact, we can go here manually. And then here. And I'll do the same thing in the same place over this way. For some reason, my selection of these, when I hold Alt, it makes my mesh X-rayed, and I don't have the X-ray on, so it's kind of weird. I'm not sure where how I have this set, so I'll have to just deal with it for now. But I'm going to right-click and mark that as a seam. So the belly is going to be one whole piece there that comes around to this rim. Probably could have done this better to where this line runs through, but you know, it's going to be fine. We can, if we want to, cut out these guys, but I'm thinking I'm going to try and see, you know, if we can leave those in there. They're not going to warp out too much, maybe. Okay, so the top now, we should put some splits for sure in. Even if we leave it as one piece, which is going to be crazy in itself. But they probably should be at least split so that they don't stretch too badly toward the edges. So I'll just kind of do this kind of thing in a few places. Because just like flattening out like a cup or a bowl, you need those splits, otherwise it's just going to crumple up on itself instead of really flattening out as much as you'd like. This one can come straight from the middle here, or at least as close to that I can see that I'm in. I think this is the exact middle, so that's good. This one can actually come up quite a ways because it's in a crevice, so we want it to kind of split from there. If you're going to have a seam somewhere, you want it to be in a place that's least visible. That's why I'm kind of looking for spots that it just makes sense to put these, or at least more sense. Sometimes it's impossible to get these to not look like seams. You want to use as few as you possibly can, but you also want to minimize stretching, which is a battle of its own. Let's try to throw one about here. Hopefully not causing myself more seams than I would have had otherwise, but like I said, it's a gamble. And, well, I like to live on the edge. Not really. Alright, so let's put one right in the front, but be careful how much I go up, because I don't really want it to be this giant seam on the face if it happens. I could have put a second one here, but I'm just trying to minimize yet again some of that damage. Let's just kind of go with this and see what happens. So we're going to right click, mark seams on that, and let's just see how this thing unwraps. I'm going to go into X-ray, grab all of my faces, and go with UV, and we're going to go unwrapped, and I'm just going to use minimum stretch for now. So that's what we get with minimum stretch. It's not too bad. We get our legs, and then we can come in here and probably pack this. So let's try to do that. Let's see if I have something that can do it. We have the standard here, so we can just go to, if I can find it, UV. There's pack islands. Let's just see if this works, and there we go, much better. So now we have UVs for our dude. I do want to create one texture for this, so one material. So I'm going to come here and just go call it skin for now. Works for me. It's going to be applied pretty much to everything. I'm just going to leave the base color and everything alone. And believe it or not, that's all we have to do. I'm going to save this file so we can come back in here to rig it. If we're going to rig it in here. I'm going to try to rig it in here. So let's go ahead and export this dude out to an OBJ, I guess. And let me just move this over. And we put this in our little folder for our dude. I think I called him Little Brain. I don't know why. So this is going to be Little Brain guy. This is going to be the low res, so I'm just going to overwrite my low res version. I'm going to call this Little Brain guy UV'd. So we want that. I'm going to say just the selection, leave it at the, the rest of the defaults, I guess, and export that out. And so, yeah, now we have that. I'm going to save this file so we can come back to it. And same way. Let's go back into our folder. And now I can go right here. And I'm just going to call this what we are. So I'm going to come up with I'm going to have another video here in a second or in a while today that is going through the process of the texture mapping and the normal maps from this guy from our high-res model. So stay tuned. I'll be back with another video later today, and I appreciate you guys watching. And